Welcome everyone, welcome to a brand new series on my channel. This series is all about ReactJS, and after this series I'll have a second series which is all about ReactJS and Redux, so I hope there's something for everyone. Let's start right away with the very important question: what the heck is ReactJS? Why would we need it? And what is so awesome about it? Well, what is ReactJS? As the name suggests, it's a JavaScript library or framework, you might say. And what can we use it for? What's the special thing it offers us? Well, let's think from a different direction. How does a web page look like? It probably looks like something like this. It has a lot of components on it. And components is something, if you're following my channel, well, you know it from Angular 2, right? There are a lot of components there too. And the reason for this simply is that web pages can be split up into components really well. You might have a header, a sidebar, a main area, and in the main area you might have a list with several list items and so on. And ReactJS takes this concept or builds up on this idea of splitting your web page into components and allows you to build such components with JavaScript, reusable components which you can then use throughout your web page and which, for one, hold the HTML code, but additionally, and that of course is very important and why this JS is at the end, it not only holds the HTML code, but also some JavaScript logic, which allows you to listen to user actions, to display content dynamically, to update the UI whenever you need to update it without having to reach out to a server and fetch a new view. Therefore, ReactJS is often used as the V in an MVC pattern, so as the view, and it is a library for creating user interfaces. That's what the official page says, and that is what really is true. That's ReactJS, a JavaScript library which helps you create user interfaces. Well, I mentioned Angular 2 before. What's the difference between ReactJS and Angular 2? Do they do the same thing and it's only up to stylistic questions or whatever you like more to decide what to pick? Well, there are differences. As I mentioned a few seconds ago, ReactJS is a library for building user interfaces, views. Angular 2, on the other hand, is more than that. Angular 2 is a JavaScript framework which allows you to build single-page applications. And the question, of course, is what's the difference? The difference is Angular 2, out of the box, has a router, supports form validation, and so on. Angular 2 is there to control the complete user experience, to control the navigation between pages, to control everything the user does. So with Angular 2, you build a single page application. Your server only sends one view, and Angular 2 takes over and handles everything. ReactJS, on the other hand, can be extended to build single-page applications, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. In that case, it has really a lot of similarities with Angular 2, but you need to import some extra packages. It's not all built into core ReactJS. Because core ReactJS is about building views or parts of views, single components or widgets, which you can then dump onto your views. So ReactJS could be used in, let's say, a Laravel application, since I have a lot of Laravel content on my channel. And in Laravel, as you are aware, you have multiple views, in most applications at least. And you could still have multiple views and use ReactJS on all these views, because in one view you need that widget, let's say a tab widget, and in the other view you need another widget or another component. So then you wouldn't have a single page application, but you would still use ReactJS. And Angular 2, on the other hand, would be kind of difficult to use in such a setup, because that really isn't what it was made for. So that was a lot of talking, but it is so important to understand what ReactJS can and cannot do, and where the differences to, let's say, single page application frameworks like Angular 2 lie. With all that theory out of the way, time to continue and actually start coding right away and build up a workspace in which we can work with ReactJS. And then, of course, I'll guide you step by step through ReactJS and show you how to use it. So let's start.